You make a move, make it matter. Yeah.
Forget the rest.
Are y'all feeling better?
You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.
Everybody, welcome back to Girl Talk Unfiltered. I'm Rosalind.
Jenny J. Crystal.
And we have two special guests with us today, Jonathan and Shantae.
Hello, hello.
Hello, family.
So today's topic, Crystal, you picked this one.
Actually, I didn't pick it. Jenny J.
What?
So we'll let her bring
Hey. Okay, y'all.
Okay, let's lead us on in.
Okay, y'all. So today we're talking about which is more important, the family you come from or the one you created. So when we say the family you come from, you come from your mom, dad, your sisters or brothers, maybe grandparents or whatever, versus like say if you have a husband and kids, like which one come first or which one is more important? Have anybody ever made a spouse feel like they were coming second to the family that they?
Well, I don't have a spouse, right? But
I'm pretty sure y'all have been in relationships.
If I did have a spouse, me and my friend was actually just talking about something like this the other day. My spouse gonna come. And it just depends on the situation too, because now if it's a parent that's sick or something, I would still consult my spouse. But if they need to come stay, then they need to come stay. And now you might get 86 at that point.
Okay.
It just depends. It just depends on the circumstances. But some stuff, yeah. And of course we're gonna talk about it. But same way if my spouse's mom or somebody got sick, I wouldn't be like, no, they can't come here.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
Is that what you mean? Is that what you when y'all say that?
Like having no.
Well, y'all need to bring it up. Right. Well, then y'all need
I don't know, like if it's not
You got everybody else like, yeah, she talking.
right.
Basically, you're just saying, okay, say it's a lot of drama, some stuff going between.
Oh, well, y'all needed to say y'all ain't say none of that.
I mean, but if you listen to it, it's pretty clear.
No.
If you saying family versus the family you create versus your biological family, it's saying basically if you have to choose, like it's really self-explanatory.
Oh, so if you have to choose between what
would you do? If you had to pick your spouse over your biological family, your parents, your siblings, what would you do?
It's still
circumstantial.
or either like what if
situational. It's
okay, what if say if you're in a relationship or whatever the case may be, or you married and maybe your spouse family don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
What if you're not welcome in your spouse's family home?
Mm-hmm.
So should your spouse still go over there, or
no?
Should your spouse roll with you? Which
he should roll. If that's your spouse and he has your back, he's going. If you're not invited and you're not welcome in his family's home, then neither is he.
Well, I would feel like that, but then I'd be like, I really don't care, because if you don't like me, why do I want to be around y'all anyway?
But no, it's not the point.
Not you. But I'm talking about
the point of that. It's the point of him standing up for his wife and having his wife's back, because you're not going to treat me right, but then you don't treat my spouse right just because you don't like him.
And I get that. Yeah, you need to stand up for me, but I'm not going to tell no, you can't go see your mom and dad. I'm not.
We should have to. That's a decision that he's supposed to make on his own, where you stand up for your spouse and you say, listen, I don't care what your personal issues are. This is my wife. If my wife is not welcome. That doesn't mean that you don't talk to them, have a relationship with them, but you have to stand up for your spouse. You cannot allow your family to treat them any kind of way. You're supposed to be one.
I think that's true.
You're supposed to have each other's back.
But I guess I just don't care. Maybe because I ain't in that type of situation or haven't really dealt.
I mean, I would still encourage my spouse, to have a relationship with his family, or they, and everything. But I believe my spouse would be like, he would probably stand by me, even though I would try to encourage him in the opposite way.
She gonna say, I believe.
So I don't know.
She know her husband. Her husband gonna be like, no, my wife can't come up. I ain't coming.
I mean,
so I would try to
I guess it would be like, so if you saying they not welcome over, I guess like holidays and stuff like that,
Period.
Well, like,
I mean, it don't
or
matter
even
if
for me, if my husband is not invited or not
But I
welcome
wouldn't
or whatever, or feel comfortable, I'm not gonna be like, well, I'm coming, you stay here. You know,
Yeah,
you can't go because my
but
family
I'm
don't
not
F with
gonna
you like
not-
that. Like,
I'll speak my piece to my family, but I'm not gonna not go to my mama house because he can't come.
well,
Because that's
then.
still your mama, so I understand.
Yeah,
But
I'm not
It's
talking
a
like
difference.
holiday shit. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
But it's
I
a
stand
difference.
ground on that, but on a random day,
But
when
that's
you
what I'm
need
saying.
something like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I'm not
you
saying
don't
I'm gonna
have
cut
a
my mama
relationship.
off. I'm like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, mama, I'm not messing with you because you don't like my husband.
Right.
No, I just probably like, we might talk, we might hang, but I won't be in attendance at like family functions or whatever and
Oh,
things like
yeah.
that. Like, no, we won't.
Yeah.
I won't be there showing my face, and I know that my husband's not welcome. Now, if he doing something crazy, he just disrespectful, and y'all got a
Right.
reason not to like him,
Then that's
then that's different. But if y'all just on some BS, just not to be liking somebody else on BS, sometimes people be on that bullshit.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
oh, we can cuss on the show.
Baby ears.
I cuss sometimes, you know.
Baby ears. Baby ears.
Yeah,
It's important to stand. You
Yeah.
have to stand with your spouse, or you gonna find yourself single. Because if you don't have their back and they don't have your back, there's no point in you being
I
married.
think that's a sticky situation, but I do agree that you're supposed to stand up for your man because we did. That was the conversation we had. Like, I can check my family, but you're not gonna check my family. I
So
check on you.
I was watching,
You can't disrespect him.
Oh, go ahead, Ted. What you got to say?
I'm
Something?
like, do y'all want the guests to say something? Or
Next time.
okay, so
You got to get in where you fit in. You got to.
I'm trying just to piggyback off of what you say and kind of you, Roslyn. What's the situation? Because the foundation of a family is what? Love. What kind of family do you have that will even force you to pick between
It's a whole
your
lot.
husband? But that's
It's
what
a
I'm saying.
whole
So
lot
that
of
means there
families
is
that would do
something
that.
wrong with
It
that
was already
situation.
problem.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because
If you
there's
have a
different-
family that's going to make you choose between whether it's the husband or the mom, something is not right.
But you got some messed up families that would do that. It doesn't have to be anything that he did. They could be mad because they feel like, oh, you're spending too much time with him.
Listen,
Well,
So
in that case,
always
blood
have this.
doesn't
So,
matter.
like, it could be jealous.
So, but this is
But
the
like-
thing then. That's not gonna happen at marriage. That was already happening.
like a
before
prime
we got married,
example.
so it was already
Okay,
issues
prime
y'all already
example.
knew.
But the fact that they got married, it could have gotten worse because there are some things that actually do get worse when people get married and they realize this person is really not going anywhere.
Okay.
So there are a lot of petty things.
Prime
that do
example, I
happen.
was watching this show. I'm not going to say the show, but the issue was, okay, the guy, he was really close to his mother. He gets mother a key to the house.
No.
So when she come in, she prepared to cook for her husband. The mom had already cooked the meal and everything. And this happened like all the time. Like she was just invading their privacy. He never once told his mom, like, Mom, you know, I need you to step aside a little bit. Not that we can't have a relationship, but this is my wife, you know what I'm saying? But he would never like in her place almost, you know, like
I
me
know
and my
somebody
wife
like
need
that.
some.
About to say,
Say that so hey, which like who you gonna choose? Are you gonna step to your mom and be like, I'm not saying you're not gonna have a relationship with your mom, but right now it's me and my wife time. It's not me and mama time right now.
No,
This is my
that's
leader. So
different.
even
No,
though
that's
it's
different.
created versus
No, I get
because
what you're saying.
he come from his mama.
No. I'm saying
But-
that's different in that, yeah, Ma, you can't just come to my house. This ain't your house.
But he would not shut his mama down.
Because in a sense, you're still choosing. At the end of the day, no matter what you say, somebody's going to be upset. So
Well, Mama
right
don't
now,
have
your
to be
wife.
mad.
But see, that's why they was in
That's
divorce
not
court.
right.
They were in divorce court
Right.
because he would not even tell his mama anything. He felt like it was okay. Like,
And
this
he
my
wrong.
mama.
Yeah,
And
he
she
was
like, but
wrong.
I'm your wife. Like,
But if you got a good wife, she'll just take it.
No.
in a minute,
Like,
So many more things
No.
will happen
No,
from that
it-
situation.
no, let me tell
But
you something.
Mama visiting, okay, she can leave and she
No.
did with it while she visited.
mama moved next door. Mama moved.
She can go back next
No.
door, keep the peace while she here.
No.
No, she's over there every single day. Like, she's at their house
Yeah,
more
they're
than
fine.
she's
Like,
there.
Set ground rules.
He
Mine
would
can
not
come
say
Monday,
nothing.
Wednesday, you have to do something. You can't.
I'm
do
saying
nothing.
that's what I'm saying. She have asked him, you know, you need to talk to your mother. He would not say nothing to his mom. He would not go against his mama. He would not say anything to her. So that's what came the issue, because now you looking like the villain and I'm the mean wife because I'm feeling some type of way because every time I come home or in my house, maybe I want to walk around naked. I don't know. I can't because mama
Well,
always
walk
in the
around
house.
naked and see what she do. Walk around
But
naked.
no,
Walk around
that's
naked.
not everybody
Walk
gonna do
around
that.
naked.
Shit, no. At the end of the day, this is your house. This is your home with your
Open
spouse.
up that door again without calling.
Right.
You gonna catch us in the kitchen, and you gonna be mad.
Exactly. But so
They should have been shut.
that's
they
where
should
I'm
have
saying,
shut
like, which is more important? Like, I feel like he should have a conversation with his
Yeah.
mother because this is your wife.
Yeah.
So not being, I ain't saying cuss your mama out. Your mama can't come to your house, but it's got to be some type of boundaries. Can you give me a phone call and let me know you on your way over? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mama
But
would
see,
have been
when-
mad, but Mama was wrong anyway, and Mama knows she wrong. She
mama.
was being disrespectful. That was
But this is
disrespectful,
the thing.
and she knew it.
But this is the thing, though. A lot of mothers treat their sons
Like they,
Like
like
their
their husbands,
Mhm.
and there's no
Yeah.
separation between
Yeah.
the two.
This is true.
And then when he gets married, she still feels like she's still in his place. And the wife was right to be upset.
Yes,
The
she
wife
was
was
very
right. I mean,
upset.
all the way to be upset because
Yes.
it's like, this is my house and I'm the queen of this castle, not your mama. Now, you were right when you said, hey, it's fine if mama comes through because there's some
Right.
stuff that I don't have to do. But there's a fine line between, hey, it's a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And
Like,
hey,
on an
I don't
everyday
mind
basis.
you coming over because you mama and I
Yeah.
want to make sure that you good. But you have to say, hey, mom, between this day and this day is cool. Hey, or your day is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or your day is Tuesday and Thursday, because every other day I have to tend to my family.
Or
But
you
then-
always at your mama house next door because, like, so I get it.
But at the end of the day, where they messed up at first off, when you gave her that key, you should have let her for emergency.
He didn't even talk to his wife before he gave her a key. Just gave her, just gave her a key.
Well, let's start
Yeah.
there. You know, you
Yeah,
gotta
that was
ask
the
permission because
problem.
we are.
Yeah.
This is our house. I can't
Mhm.
just give somebody a key
Right.
and you say, "Oh, well, that's my mom." No, player. You know,
Right.
my mama
No.
ain't got one, so why your mama got one?
Right.
Right.
So
You
y'all
know,
went,
so yeah, you just got to be on one accord
and
with
that's
each other
and that's
on
what
everything.
It is. Yep, that's what they were missing. They should have had that conversation, and in that conversation, it should say we're going to give her the key, but it's for emergencies only. But at the same time, this is the thing: you shouldn't have to explain this. No,
Sometimes.
sometimes you do, but you shouldn't have. My brothers all have keys to my house, and they had my house and just walked in my house. Never. Like one of my brothers, only one of them don't have a key right now. I got to get him a key. But I've given all my brothers keys before. They don't just come in my
I'm
house.
scared of you.
No, they all bigger than me. But no, it's still a matter of respect. Even
That's
if I
just
had their
respect.
keys, I would never just go over their house. That would be like, say, in case she calls one day and says we done lost, but I would never just run up in your house. Even like right now, if I'm going to visit one of my siblings or their wives and the kids, I call, I find out where you're at. I find out if you're home, if you're available. If you're not doing anything, then we'll stop by. I don't just pop up I don't even pop up at my mother's house. I check first, I see what you're doing. Because she might be spending time with her husband. She may be spending time with her husband. I'm not about to just pop up on you. It's just a matter of respect. I don't even and I don't care if people come visit me, but I'm not crazy about that either. I could be somewhere in the room with my boo. I'm just saying.
That's
I don't want people pop. You don't just pop up on people.
They won't.
Some
I
people
know.
like. Some people do like when people pop up.
No, you might
Yeah,
see.
Some people, not all people, but some people do. Some people do like when surprise guests, whatever. Do like a little pop up company sometimes, but not all the
Yeah, in
time.
the
Like every day, I don't mind if somebody pop up because I don't mind seeing people.
Don't pop up at my door.
Crystal, we surprised you and Tierra a couple times actually.
I know, but
And you were happy.
surprised. That's why
Right, and she was
Surprise pop-up.
But be honest,
right.
no, but y'all called too. See, they call themselves being slick. They wanted somebody for her birthday, so they're like, "So what are y'all doing? Are y'all at home? Did Tierra eat? What's her favorite food again?" I'm like, "Okay, they're trying something." So I already knew they were trying to come. And then when they popped up, I wasn't as surprised because I'm like, they don't call and ask certain questions. So when you call and you sound suspicious because it's not something you usually ask me, I know. And then I know how they are. They did it last year. to the pandemic. They did it this year. So them popping up on her birthday to surprise her because we couldn't go out, we couldn't do anything. You know, something like that, that's okay. But I mean, just on a regular basis, don't pop up at my house because sometimes you do want to you want to take everything off and just chill in your undies or something, you know? You want to
Are you a nudist?
So this is my question.
Oh, I know you know. Listen, you know I know. Don't make me
I just want to know.
put you out there now. You know how you roll at home.
Anybody know me? I'm not a fan of clothes. I'm just saying. I'm just not. It's too.
The flasher gonna ask me about this.
I just
Why
want
she
to know.
trying to come for me?
It only take a second to throw something on.
I got house dresses.
So is there ever a situation in y'all where it would be opposite?
What do you mean? Us?
Like because most people are always gonna go with their spouse. That's what you're supposed to do. That's your spouse.
No, they don't.
Um,
A whole lot of people don't.
But is there
personally-
ever a situation where y'all feel like it's appropriate
To do what?
to go against your spouse?
I would never go against my spouse publicly. Like I'm a roll with him, right or wrong. But when we get like, you know, by ourselves, I'm gonna have to let him know, like, you know, you was wrong for that. You didn't have to do that. You shouldn't have said that. You owe such and such an apology. But publicly, like I might, you know, I'll probably try to, you know, wheel him back in, calm him down or something like that. You know, I'm not gonna probably say too much if I feel like he's wrong or something like that. I'm gonna wheel him in, but I'm not gonna be out there with the crowd just going in on my husband. No, that's not gonna happen. But we'll talk about that later.
So what if your husband is in the middle of cussing your mama out or your daddy out?
I wouldn't date a man. I wouldn't date a man that would cuss my husband. I wouldn't date a man. It's no man.
People change, and you marry one person, you never know, they might get so angry.
Yeah.
No,
And they do it.
Yeah.
So these are
no. I mean,
change.
I would not. For me personally, I'm not going to be with a man that would cuss my mama out because now I would have to intervene if he in the middle of doing something like that or. One, I couldn't even see my man doing nothing like that. But if it was, I'm gonna get with him because I did. If my mama did something that you didn't like, I'll take care of that. I'm gonna talk to my mama. But you not gonna cuss my mama.
I'm gonna break y'all apart. We're gonna talk about it. That's not a deal breaker because people get mad. You know what I'm saying? For him to cuss my mom out, something had to happen.
No. Let me tell you something. It's still I'm with her on this. It's a matter of respect. I don't care if I can't stand your family. I'm not about to jump in your mother face and disrespect your mother.
Yeah, but it's still not.
My mother is not gonna jump up in my husband or my man.
Yeah.
Saying what if they do?
No, it ain't no what if they do.
do.
We gonna shut it down because now I got a problem with both of them because that's something we don't do.
Right.
It's still a matter of respect. If you got a problem with him, you come to me. And
So
I'll
I
deal with
couldn't
him,
see.
and vice versa.
I just couldn't see anybody I'm talking to because once I see it's going left, I'm already in that thing. I'm already intervene.
Right.
Might have to go drop my mama off. I'm gonna have to talk to you. I'm gonna have to figure out where did the disrespect come in? When did we find that this was okay?
Right.
So, yeah, like my man wouldn't disrespect my mama or my daddy, and I wouldn't disrespect his mama or daddy either.
Right.
But the crazy thing is there is a Facebook post out there about that. If your husband and father got into it and your husband said get in the car and your father said sit down, which one would you follow? And a lot of women
I'm leaving.
I'm gonna get in the car.
Because my father had me. I was his daughter. He raised me to be a woman. Boom, I'm married. That's it. That's it.
Once your father gave you to your husband, your husband is responsible for you. That's no longer your father's responsibility, even though your father is still your father. But you know, I talk with my hands. Y'all know how I am. Y'all know how I get down. But yeah, so I'm going to, I'm gonna follow my husband.
Like hopping in the car with your husband.
No.
You're gonna be here pouting, looking stupid, but you're gonna hop in the car with your husband.
Right,
Yeah,
like
some
so.
women actually said they'll follow their father.
That's
No.
stupid. You shouldn't be married.
I'm
You shouldn't be
just-
married because you don't live with your father. You know, you got a whole life with your husband.
Right.
Stupid.
I gotta go home and go to sleep.
Out the door
Yeah.
and saying, "Daddy, I'll talk to you later."
Daddy, I'll text you in the morning.
Yes. But I'm going with my husband. Now we probably gonna have it out depending on who was
He's in the wrong, yeah.
And whether you jump, now if you jumped in my father's face or something like that, we definitely gonna have some issues.
Or it could have been a situation where
But
the husband jumped in your her face while the daddy was there, and it was escalating. And he like, you need to leave.
Even if it's,
but then if he like, and she gonna leave too. And then
I mean,
like,
okay, long as he ain't go upside my head, I'm saying like this. Okay, if he not beating me, if it's not physical, if my husband get in my face and we yelling or whatever the case, arguing or whatever, it's no need for you to get involved. Like, now let's see. Now if he choking me out or something, then that's different. He goes to my head, then I can see you saying that. But if we arguing, we argue. That's just what it is. I'm not about to get in the middle.
Don't do it in front of me then.
I'm not stepping in the middle of nobody argument. I'm not stepping in nobody.
While I get what you're saying, the bottom is, if your father is right there and your husband is in your face going off, it's not realistic to think that some man, that your father is not going to, especially in his house too.
Yeah.
No, he's gonna have something to say.
Tell him to go home and argue. That's your husband. Tell him to go home and argue.
It don't matter. That's just like your daughter get into it with her boyfriend and he jump up in her face, husband or not. You're gonna be looking like, hold on now, you doing too much.
Boyfriend and husband is completely two totally separately different things.
At the end of the day, if you in that father's house and this man is in your face, of course he gonna say something.
He might say something like he might say something. Y'all calm down or whatever.
Cuss him out, but
I mean, he can say y'all calm down, chill out. But should he jump up to fight my husband because me and my husband having an argument?
I think
no.
I think the only time that happens if he probably
like I mean,
put his hands on you.
Like he can say y'all. I can see him saying calm down or whatever the case may be. But if married people or people having an argument, it's an argument. Like. Now, if I'm getting choked out, by all means, help a sister out. But but I'm just saying.
At the end of the day, if you want your privacy, then you keep the stuff private.
I'm just
doing it in front of an audience,
stuff in front of people.
Yeah,
well,
you gotta say.
But I'm saying if we have an argument, arguments happen. Like arguments happen,
Step outside.
I mean, arguments happen.
Somebody need to know how to be quiet until we can get in that car.
Arguments happen. I am not gonna lie. In my family, I tell people right now, I pre-warn people. Like an argument might break out at any time. Not necessarily between me and my husband. Maybe my husband and siblings. Maybe me and my husband. An argument might break out. It has been known to happen. But it's okay. Be cool. We're not about to kill each other. But we will break out into an argument, and you will be looking at us sideways, like, "What the hell is wrong with y'all?"
Why you gotta say your husband and his siblings?
Because it's true. Arguments happen. People, it happens. Are we about to kill each other just because me and my husband having an argument? Yeah. It ain't about to. I feel like if y'all having an argument, I'm not gonna intervene in it. Like unless he going upside her head. But like people have arguments, and the more time people get in it, like it escalate or whatever. Yeah. Okay, go cuss them out, whatever. I don't got nothing to do with that. That's between you and your man. Now,
I just don't feel like you should argue in front of
me personally. I'm gonna walk away. If I feel like I'm gonna get crazy, I'm gonna walk away.
Right, but things happen. You can never, you know what I'm saying. You only can say what you would do until you put in that situation.
I have been in that situation.
So
I've been in situations where I was like, want to be like, who the hell you think you talking to?
Well, see, no.
But I give them that look, and they be like, oh.
And see, I'm a little bit different. I got a smart ass mouth. I mean, like you say something to me, I might say something back. I mean, like might not be in no yelling match, but I'm not gonna shut up either. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't think my husband gonna put his hands on me. He ain't never put his hands on me before. I mean, we just say what we got to say, and that's just it. So
okay, I'm gonna give you an example here. And I'm talking about my siblings and their wives. I have been around for some arguments for both of them, and I didn't really get in the middle of it. I let them finish saying whatever they had to say. Now, once it's over, I'm definitely looking at my brother and I'm like, dude, I'm going to say what I need to say to him and let him know when I felt like he was wrong. I'm like, dude, you were wrong. Yeah. You didn't have to disrespect her like that, or you didn't have to say that, or you need to chill out. Now, I didn't get in the middle of it because at the end of the day, that's still your marriage. You're still going to be married once I leave and go home. So I wasn't going to get in the middle of it. I let you guys finish whatever you needed to say. Mm-hmm. Afterwards, like I said, I did sit down and talk to my brothers. Like, no, because as a woman, I'm telling them as their sister, but as a woman, what I'm seeing and what I just heard and what I felt like was not cool. or was rude or disrespectful.
Now, is it uncomfortable to be around somebody while they arguing?
Yes.
Yes, it's very uncomfortable.
I don't
And you
like
look at
that.
now, I will agree to like it's very
I don't
uncomfortable
like
to be
that.
around
'Cause I
people,
be like,
and
y'all
I
need
don't
to
like
cut
to be
that
around
out.
it, or I just like remove myself
Right.
because
Yeah, I be like, y'all need to go home with all that. Get out.
you know what I'm saying? Like
I ain't
I
got
remove
time for
myself,
that.
so it is very uncomfortable. I try, not to be around it. I do try not to argue in front of people.
Yeah.
Have I argued in front of people?
I mean,
Yeah, of
things
course.
happen,
But I
right.
mean, it's life. I mean,
No,
I ain't
well,
tripping.
But at what point in time? But what at one point in time do we say, you know what? This is an A and B argument. Let us go ahead and move. I think as an adult, you need to be like, you know what?
We'll
Hey,
finish this
I'm
later
at mama
or
house.
whatever.
I'm at cousin house.
Yeah.
Hey, we about to go because what's getting ready to be said.
Nah, see, my
need
first instance is to walk
You
away.
don't need the audience.
No, we don't need an audience.
Now, my first instance is to walk away. Like Shantae said, I will walk away. But I am a little picky. Now, you follow me, you say something. Like I said, I got a smart mouth. I'm going to say something back. Even though, like, if I walk away, don't follow me and keep talking that bullshit because I'm going to say something back. I'm going to say my. So, I'm trying to keep it clean.
But I had an argument with my ex-wife, and we were at her family house, and she looked at me, and I looked at her. I said, I'm about to hop in this car in 5 minutes. You either in the car or you're not. And I'm done. Because I'm a person of respect and honor, and I know how people view me. So I don't want you to look at me any other way when I cut into my old lady about something we are arguing with. So I'm out of respect for myself first, for my wife, and for our privacy. Because now you got people, girl, you heard me.
Right. That's how I feel.
And
Like,
she's
don't.
still that too.
Right.
You called her this in front of us, girl. It's not your business.
You absolutely
Right.
It's really not. But the thing is, you wanted an audience when you couldn't keep your mouth closed out of respect for the vows that you said to her.
And then don't get mad when people got something to say. When
Don't
the
be-
peanut
don't be
gallery in the
mad.
back got something
Don't
to
be
say.
mad.
Because you didn't gave them the show.
Yeah.
Don't be upset
So they
when.
gonna have an opinion.
Right.
But the thing is, don't be
Always.
upset when the next post from them is about you.
Right.
guess,
Don't be like, oh, that's what y'all gonna say.
I guess
about
when
your
couples
media."
argue,
Yes.
I guess when couples or people argue, like it doesn't really bother me per se. Is it uncomfortable? Yeah, but like I don't read too much into people. I just be like, that's just what they do. That's just who they are. That's their dynamic. I seen people argue, aunties and uncles grow up, cousins argue. I'm like, okay, long as they ain't dying or nothing. You ain't getting. Girl, I could care less about somebody. All right,
But see,
go ahead,
you
girl.
can care less, but at the same time, some people enjoy that. Some people, that's what they want to see. They're like, oh yeah, look at them getting into it. And then you sitting there planting seeds, like, yeah, he ain't crap anyway.
Girl, he was wrong for that dude.
Why
Why you let her do that to you?
Right.
Don't do it like that. So
when you allow people into your marriage like that, you allow them to plant those seeds because now they see. So some people come in and be like, yeah, he ain't nothing anyway. Oh, she ain't nothing. She only with you for your money. You know what I'm saying?
But anybody that been into a relationship, I feel like anybody that's been in a relationship, arguments happen, things happen. Like I could argue with, that's my cousin. I could argue with her or whatever. We could go with. That don't mean I don't love her. I could argue and cuss. Can't nobody else do it.
But
like I mean.
You can argue all day long.
We can do it. Like
you can argue all day long, but at the end of the day, your marriage is your marriage. You have to protect your marriage like you protect your child.
Right.
You would never let somebody come and hurt your child.
And just because we argue, you can't come argue with my husband. I can argue with him. Can argue. But I feel like it. Like it's just. I just feel like I just.
It's
come
about
from
what you're allowing people to see and seeing the cracks in your marriage, and people are jealous, vindictive.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Wait a minute.
Let me tell you this.
It depends on the argument. If we did a regular argument, people argue. Talking about a regular argument.
Let me tell you, people go.
It's one thing you gotta talk to each other.
Let me tell y'all something.
People are petty enough for it to be whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, but
let me tell y'all something. People gonna say what they want to say about you regardless. You can never see a couple argue whatever. Oh, they don't never say nothing. They don't. People gonna talk about you regardless. So, and people gonna always gonna have something to say.
But it's not
regardless.
About that. It's still about if your marriage is your marriage. If your marriage is sacred. If your marriage means something to you. Like when I use the example about the child, the way you will protect and defend your child, you do the same thing with your marriage. You don't let people.
It's
in.
couples that you've never seen.
You don't let
You
people
don't never
in
see
your
them argue
marriage
because they do
Once
that
you
at home. It ain't for everybody to see.
Yeah,
It's not.
It should be.
I mean,
everybody don't
it's
need
true.
to be
That is
seen.
true. But if I see an argument, if I see somebody argue, I'm just gonna tell you this. Oh, they was arguing. I mean, that's what people do. I mean, people have disagreements all the time. Like it ain't always gonna be at home. Is what I'm saying. You try to keep it quiet, but sometimes things it happens.
You
So
gotta know when to cut it off though. Like you can't just bring your whole argument.
right, like when the people
if
like
you have a disagreement, you gotta know. Okay, cut
it off. Yeah, you got. That's true.
There's a difference
That's
between
true.
a disagreement and an argument. That's two different things.
Yeah, that's when you cut it off. It does not become an argument.
Yeah.
Now we can have an argument. But we're not gonna be out here disrespecting each other, just calling each other names, but not because we having a disagreement.
Yeah.
Maybe you feel this way, maybe I feel some way, but I'm not gonna be out there like F you. You could get the blah blah blah.
Exactly.
Da, da. We not gonna do that game. It ain't gonna come to that. But just because you seeing us having a disagreement, it's a different. Like we out here disrespecting each other, it's a difference.
And so and y'all going there and arguing.
Crystal, I think it's healthy people to see that couples disagree. I don't think it's
But
healthy
again,
we know
disagreement and
argument.
argument.
But what I'm saying
But
is,
I don't want to see your
I
again. I'd be like, y'all need to go.
Yeah, because it's
Because-
uncomfortable.
listen, you have people who desire to get married, who think marriage is like this, easy peasy, all good, it's all pretty, all beautiful, and then they get married. They're like, oh my God, what is this? I think you can argue healthily and without putting all your business out there, without throwing jabs and stuff, so people can see, oh yeah, just because I don't want people to have like a false illusion of what marriage is.
But the reality
But
is,
I
most
hear you,
people
y'all
don't.
are right. Y'all are right. What I'm
That's
saying
where
is,
Most people ain't censored. Listen,
Right.
when you're
Don't
mad,
wrong with that.
Right.
We're not trying to see all that.
The argument, like if I see somebody
it
having
gets to that. It's the thing. At the end of the day, if you're getting into it and you're pissed, he's pissed. A lot of times, something do come out that shouldn't come out.
okay,
Or
we
things
talking
are
about
said that
things.
shouldn't
I
See,
see
be
what you're
said.
saying.
like
But when you argue, you're not sitting there like, I'm not gonna just say
no,
right.
I can almost listen. I can almost guarantee you. I can pretty much, me and my husband can have an argument, but he ain't gonna be like, well, BF you, da da da. We're not gonna do that. We're not going to do that. But then it's level of respect. It's all about a level of respect because I respect and respect. But we're gonna have, we can have an argument. It is.
Have an argument in front of people.
Yes, it is. Because we have.
So where's the level at?
What do you mean? Because we having a disagreement of an argument. That don't mean I don't respect him just because we argument.
Give us an example of a acceptable argument in front of somebody, because there are acceptable arguments in front of people. You can't walk like
you can have an argument or a disagreement.
I think
it start getting.
Y'all missing the fact that we keep saying a disagreement
And an argument
and an
is two
argument
different
are
things.
two totally.
I don't think.
Okay.
You can
I wonder,
disagree
like-
with somebody and
don't
not be
think so.
arguing like going off,
This is true.
tripping out. You know what I'm saying? So it's still a difference.
What's
And
the
then they be
difference?
Like, okay, boy, bye.
I wanna know,
Be done
like,
with
what's
this,
the- what's
and
the
then
difference?
Be done with it.
Us disagreeing mean we not agreeing on something. It could be we disagree about giving the kids pop. I don't want to give kids pop. You want to get.
Well, they just have.
They should have. I feel like they should have. Like it's still an argument, even if we have a
No,
we might have a little bit of an argument
That's
because I think it's a difference if when you start being. I think when you start becoming like disrespectful, that's where I think I don't mind if people argue or have a disagreement because to me I kind of view them as the same thing.
See, you don't mind.
I look at
for
them.
a lot of people. If we have a family, y'all get into it.
Now it becomes
it's awkward because now the whole atmosphere has changed because now that you guys are falling
And a
out,
lot of
we're
times
all looking like
no, it becomes uncomfortable from.
If it is at the home, I've seen people leave. They go into the bedroom session because everybody don't need to hear that.
Now I begin to feel uncomfortable if you are like, I'm gonna F you up being da 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 da. Then I'm like, oh, maybe.
It doesn't have to
Like,
be.
but we have. If you sitting there having an argument or a disagreement,
most arguments,
I'm okay with
between
it.
mates don't resort in cussing each other out.
Sometimes
That's
they do.
extreme.
But even if they do argue, people argue. I'm just like, that's just what people do. People argue, disagree, get out. Like it doesn't. It becomes belligerent and y'all start threatening each other. It's a whole lot of cussing being involved, a whole lot of disrespect. Just because we have an argument don't mean we got to be disrespectful or disagreement.
So at the end of the day, you just okay with it. I don't want to hear it. Take that shit home.
Like I don't
and
like.
be done with it.
I don't care. I've seen people have whole arguments and then they argue to whatever. Then we back to the party. I mean, what it is. I'm just saying, like,
you gotta
I
also
don't care.
understand though, there are so many levels of dysfunction of what people think is normal or should
And
be
healthy.
normal, but yeah, and it's not healthy. It's
It's
not
because of how
normal.
they grew up.
It's too
Right.
right, exactly. So
Right.
for them, people like, oh, that's and you looking like, oh, this is really
Right.
awkward. Like,
Yeah.
And they be like, they crazy as hell.
Right.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing, though. It's
But then
like,
I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
I
don't care. Like, if I see somebody arguing, as long as you now, if you going to stab somebody's head or you start putting your hands on somebody, and I'm like, okay, y'all out of control. Y'all need to
Mind your
listen
business.
to
Mind your business.
Nah, y'all need to stop that.
You need to mind your business.
But no, I'm not gonna mind
your business with them arguing.
I'm not gonna mind my business if a man's
Hey.
putting their hands on a woman. No, that's complete. No, that's completely different. That's a completely different. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. No. That's completely
What if
wrong.
somebody dies?
No, that's completely wrong. Now,
What if somebody
argument,
dies?
me and you arguing is not going to kill you. Your life is not threatened because we having an argument. I do not, because me and you having a disagreement. Your life is not going to be.
Gonna go back even with that
I was in a
dude.
situation where somebody got a knife put on them.
Call the police. What you gonna
It
do?
ain't no calling the police if it's right there.
Oh, well, then it is what it is. Because
And
I
I
can't
had to
help you.
break
He
it
got a knife. What I'm gonna do?
Now I will call the police.
I'm
I will
saying
try to calm you down. But if y'all having an argument, okay, couples have argument. It's not my place to go ahead and get involved in that argument. But now if it's starting to get physical, you starting to slap people, put your hands on. Y'all need to calm down. Y'all need to break that up because it's getting physical. Then that's a difference to me. That's a difference. That's a difference.
You're related to. It depends on the people.
Now, my family again. No, I'm calling 911 for some strangers.
You know,
No,
you might get beat down.
No.
Wait, we everybody talking at the same time. We can't hear anything.
If it's Crystal, if it's you, I'm jumping in. We stumping them out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to walk away. But if it's some random,
I shoot them.
if it's some random,
I'm not gonna get him enough random or something like that. I will call 911 on you. I will call the police.
Right.
If you sitting there putting your hands on a woman, if it's getting physical, and I'm thinking I will call 911. But just because y'all having an argument, I'm not got to run to call 911 because you just told Crystal to shut up. And Crystal just like y'all go home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go home, argue, but people don't always go home.
I'm like this. I'm already going.
don't do
I'm
it
already
to
going.
people. That's the bottom line. You got to keep it.
If you gonna
within
mind
own
your
home.
business, then you need to mind your business.
I will mind my
At the
business.
end of the day.
But if they fighting, then that's different. I'm not gonna sit there. I'm gonna call 911.
Mutually fighting. That's what they do.
Now I know some people. Now I do have some family like they might buck a little bit, and I might mind my own business because that's their dynamic. Because that's how they get down, and they don't want you to because they about to go have. No. Oh, it's a baby in the room.
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm just saying, like,
if you jump in, then they mad at you for jumping in, and they gonna be good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but she
Well,
just
that's
made,
different.
She just made the point though that some couples like to fight because that's a turn on. But again, that's still dysfunctional. I mean, for some
sometimes dysfunction work for them people.
I have no interest in that.
But you can't keep it true.
But see, but the only thing that I can do, listen, let me explain something. If it's not my house, then I can tell people how to behave. Now, if I'm at an event and such get to arguing, and if I don't like it, I'll remove myself. If I don't want to, but I'm not about to be like, oh, y'all go home, y'all do that. This not my house. This not my place.
But the difference is whether you're in their house or in their presence, period, you can still remove yourself.
Yeah, I can remove myself. That's what I'm saying. If I control what other people do.
But that's the point. What we're saying is people need to handle their business. Too many. That's why so many marriages. Well, there's so many reasons why marriages fail, but that's another big reason. Everybody should not be in your marriage. Everybody
But like,
should not.
this is what I tell
And
people.
that's the part I'm talking about.
But listen,
we need to go ahead and leave because everybody don't need to understand.
exactly. So you know that works for you and your spouse, whatever. So you have to do what's best, what works for you and your spouse. But just because we see things one way, they might view it completely different. They might look at it completely different. So who are we to tell them that they're wrong for looking at it like that? Or that's how they help you.
Telling them this, but the fact of the matter is, there are so many relationships that are dysfunctional because they don't know any better. Like we were saying earlier, if this is what you see growing up, if you see arguing, you see fighting, you
But some people like dysfunction though.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, most couples drag other people into their dysfunction.
Yep.
But if you allow yourself to get into their dysfunction, that's on you.
If I go over your house and y'all getting into it, I'm sitting there, I'm in it.
No, I'm not. You know what? Bye.
That's a lie.
Bye. I'll see y'all next time.
Jump in it or not. If I'm sitting there, it's in my presence. I'm in it.
Either she needs to say,
no.
or you need to say, hey, Chris, you need to go. Because
Right. You ain't even got to tell me. If I don't like the situation, I have no problem with grabbing I would holler at y'all on the next
But
side.
you still
If I feel
drag
like
somebody into your situation.
I don't feel like that.
You might not feel like that.
I don't
but
feel
the
like
fact
that.
of the matter is,
Because people
you got
argue.
company over there and y'all going
People
at it,
argue. They human.
and
I don't
you still
care.
Put them in the middle of it.
Stuff
And then people
happen.
get mad when other people make
But
comments.
see, like people,
You can't get
I
mad
don't
when
think
you
that
sit
they
there
sat
with
there and
yourself.
said, oh, such and such here. Let's get this argument cracking. That stuff just happens. You know what I'm saying? So
But you know,
if I
at
feel
the end of the
uncomfortable,
day,
I'ma
that
just
was
go.
already
feeling some kind of way before they got there.
Yeah, but what
They
if
was
I'm
already
messy?
there.
Listen, I could have been over your house, y'all getting into it, and I'm gonna fuel this stuff. I'm like, dang, you let that person talk to you like that? Oh, that's disrespectful. That's how you deal with them? You know what I'm saying? The wrong people around will fuel that kind of drama. And
But
that's
like-
a big
but that's
problem.
my whole
You gotta
thing
have
is-
people around you who are not going to I say this, I always give God, you want people around to give godly counsel. Who gonna tell you to pray on it? Who gonna tell you like, listen, this between you and your husband, y'all need to work it out, y'all need to get some counseling, blah, 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 blah. But then you're gonna also have people, because they saw that, when you let people see what's going on in your house, you allow the devil to come in really just mess your situation.
But see, I don't feel like that. Like if somebody seen me and my husband having an argument, I feel like I'm not gonna sit up there and tell you that it's all peaches and cream, that you ain't gonna never see a married person argue or have a disagreement in front of somebody. That's not true. Just because you see somebody argue doesn't mean, they just said it. That ain't right. They just started arguing for me. I don't think that was their intention.
But we're not saying with every couple that it's gonna end up being like that. What we're saying is most situations, you don't allow people to come. That's like you allow some woman to come live at your house.
Mm-hmm.
That don't have clothes on, barely walking around. You know what I'm saying? You allowing that temptation in your house. Now, anything could happen. That's not saying that it's going to happen, but you still allow that to come into your house. Why allow certain things in your house? You still have to be mindful of everything going on in your marriage. This is your marriage. Like I heard this one couple. They said they've been married over 20 years. And they asked the husband, they said, how did you guys stay married? Have such a good marriage. He said, first off, our marriage is not perfect. He said, we have disagreements. We have arguments sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
He said, the difference is we don't allow anybody into our marriage. He said, it's me, my wife, and God. Mm-hmm. He said, we don't put everybody else in it. Because when you put other people in it, then you allow for that dysfunction.
But see, that's true.
But both of them, you gotta have the same understanding. Usually it's only one person that feels that way and the other person trying to argue.
But
That's good that both of them had that understanding that we not gonna argue in front of people.
If they said we're not gonna argue in front of people, but if we're having an argument, if me and you having an argument, do I feel like I'm putting you into something? No. You might feel like it's a need for you to, say something in this argument, but I might not feel like it's a need for you to say something. Now, we might have an understanding. Like just because we might be good, we might be watching a movie in the next hour. But you might feel some type of, you might feel like you got to say something, but you
That's
don't.
why you just shouldn't argue in front of people.
You shouldn't argue, but I'm saying you shouldn't argue in front of people, but things happen. But things happen. Things happen. It happens.
In front of
people,
or in front of, because now they're gonna form stuff about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
then that's where them issues come in.
You can just cut that junk and y'all deal with it later.
Yep, because you can tell
you can help it, but arguments happen. Things happen.
Later.
Is it right to argue in front of people? No, but things happen, and I'm not. If I see a couple arguing, I'm not gonna be like, oh, dang, that's messed up.
But we're not talking about random.
They argue.
Family. We talking about at home.
And I'ma just do, if I feel uncomfortable and somebody argue, they break into you and your spouse break into an argument in front of me, and I feel uncomfortable about it. I'm just gonna be like, but if it happened, I'm gonna be like, you know what, Roz, I'm gonna see you later. I'm gonna let you handle your business, and I'm gonna remove myself
because you could feel it. We maybe say something, I say something back, and then it'd be like, you know what, we'll talk about it.
And it's still even attention, but even attention is still uncomfortable.
Oh well,
I mean, it's still
at least
uncomfortable.
You didn't give dialogue for nobody to go off for nothing.
Exactly.
You be like, oh, she pissed. Yep, that's all you know is I'm pissed.
Exactly. Because the problem is this: y'all get into it, then you had a family sitting there. Now the family feeling some type of way about you, or the family feeling some type of way about him. That creates a whole other level of drama. Because one thing, me and my family, we have a pretty good understanding. I don't care if you guys get into it with my brothers. I mean, I care, but I'm not about to jump into your argument and jump in your face and say something to you or to you. Because at the end of the day, this is not my marriage. Those are my brothers, but that's not my marriage. I'm not going to do that, because as soon as I do that, it's so much drama and tension that could never go away. Because I had an old friend of mine. She ain't my friend now. I had an old friend.
She ain't my friend, huh?
Nah, I had to ditch her. But her and her boyfriend got into it. I don't remember what they got into it about, but they got into it. No, I'm sorry, not her and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend is a sweetheart. They didn't get into it. She got into it with his brother. His two brothers were over at the house chilling. She came home or whatever. I don't know. I forgot exactly what was said. And it was some comment about that being in her house. It was something they did. And they were like, no, this is not your house. This is brother's house. Because the house was in the brother's name. Next thing you know, they didn't got into it. The other brother jumps in it too, so they arguing with her.
Where was her boyfriend at?
He was right there.
Because I'd have been like, no, dude, it's our house.
Right there, and that being his big brothers, he didn't get in.
See, and that goes a prime example of our topic of today.
Yeah.
He chose the family that he came from instead of one that he was creating with this girl or whatever the case may be, because he didn't address his brothers at the time. Even if he felt like it was his brother's house, he still could have ended the argument and shut it down. He chose to sit there and not say nothing.
It wasn't his brother's house. It was his house.
But I'm saying
it was him and his girlfriend's house.
But even if it was the house, he did not end it. He just let his girl and his brothers continue to argue back and forth. He didn't end it because he probably didn't want to say nothing to his brothers.
They called her bees.
Oh no!
They cussed her out. Was in her face, calling her out her name, all kind of stuff.
But it wouldn't even went that far, because I would looked at my boyfriend like, and then it would have been a fight.
Oh, it would have been.
They called the police. It jumped on the boyfriend.
He wouldn't have been my boyfriend no more.
Talk to me like this, I'd have jumped on you.
Like, dude, so I see how you feel about me. Totally disrespectful.
Yeah, because I didn't fight me, but I'd have jumped on him that day. I'd have been like, go and call the police, because I'm about to mess you up, and you up. And don't let me have a gun. I probably would have shot everybody. I got to stop saying that on air. But I'm just saying, because I'm like, you let this man jump in my face. These men.
So at that point, he chose the family that he come from instead of the one that he was creating.
But the relationship was over.
Oh, it would have been over.
At that moment, because they ended up staying in the same house for maybe another 6 months to a year.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Oh, girl, that was so much dysfunction there. The relationship was over. They stopped sleeping in the same room after that. They barely talked. They basically were like roommates. And then it got to the point where he locked her out the house. He locked her out the house. She had to actually climb through the windows just to get back in the house one day. And then she had the lights turned off since all the utilities was in her name. So that was the end of that relationship. But it went real petty. It was crazy. But the thing is, the relationship truly ended that day.
Of course.
Because she said he did not protect me.
Yep.
He didn't have my back. This is her boyfriend, but it's like, you let your
I would have lost all respect for him after that day.
But like Jenny just said, that goes back to what the topic of the show is actually. And it's like, if you're going to choose the family you came from, I think you need to go ahead and sever the ties with the woman that you're with.
Right.
Because all she really wants to make sure is that, hey, one, you respect me without shadow of a doubt. You protect me. And that we build together.
Yes.
Because if we can't have them three, then I'm out here by myself, basically.
It ain't no
Yeah.
Right.
Then it's not a relationship. So
That's
true.
I mean, so if we're going to choose the family that we are creating, we need to realize that there's going to be a separation between the two. I'm not going to preach at all, but however, a man has to leave his family and cleave to the woman that he said he wanted to be with. And if he's going to be with her, he needs to
So
be
Right.
with her. No
Right.
matter what happens between the mother, father, sister, brother, like, hey, yo, this is what I'm building over here. I love y'all. I respect y'all.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I have to go home to her.
Exactly.
Now, for one, your family
She
being
cooks my
disrespectful.
meals, and she washes my
Listen,
clothes.
you better
She
say
has,
that.
she has passwords.
Right.
She also on the joint account. So
Right.
I need to make sure that home is taken care of. And I don't think anybody realizes that when you actually start dating someone and y'all wind up living together, y'all have now created a home.
Yes.
And if you have to make sure that that home is protected at all costs.
Correct.
Mama, I love you, but hey, this is home. You provided a great home for me.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I can take it from here.
But the beautiful thing is when you have the right spouse,
Drops the mic.
that right spouse is going to have your back when it comes to your parents, when it comes to your family. And
Right.
we're out of time.
We have ran our mouth, but that hour went by fast.
Yes.
We didn't even get to talk about Juneteenth, but happy Juneteenth, everybody.
Happy
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth. So till, we got 5 minutes.
We got 5 minutes on Juneteenth. Our
Okay.
producers say. So go
I
ahead,
was
Crystal.
saying Black Power. I had to catch myself. I had to catch myself.
Go
Is
ahead,
Black
Parks.
Power a bad word?
Nah, girl. I'm sorry. You know I get excited.
Oh, I'm like, we can't say Black Power. I'm like, wait.
While you playing, I almost gave him a high five when he was talking about the husband's clean to your wife. I started to be about her.
Okay, we get Juneteenth. We got 5 minutes.
First off, let me tell all y'all something. Don't be interrupting my happy moments.
Okay.
That's 1 minute.
Juneteenth.
We talk about Juneteenth on the next one.
Can I start?
We don't have enough time.
Go
to really
ahead.
talk about Juneteenth.
So how we feel about this July 4th versus June 19th?
I don't know why. I don't even know.
Well, July 4th wasn't for me. Never for. It wasn't about me, so I'm all for Juneteenth.
I was born on the 4th of July.
And that's about all that means to me is that you was born on the 4th of July, and I'm happy that you was born.
That's it.
No comments.
I'll appreciate that you was born on July 4th, but
I mean, I love the fact
I
that
got something.
when it happened,
Go ahead.
you know, about the July 4th, you know, whole independence. It wasn't my Independence Day, but you know, hey.
But if America wasn't ever free, we wouldn't have been free either. It's like, you know.
She only taking up for it because of her birthday. We are not. So listen, but
I told
all
Crystal I
seriousness-
better not see her on the 4th of July barbecuing ribs.
And
I
I
don't
will
want to
be.
see her
And I
celebrate
will
the
be.
4th of July.
And I
I don't
will
want to
be.
see her
And I'll be
nobody
on
barbecue.
I'll be doing that, and I'll come over your house for my cake. Don't
Since
play
we're
with me.
canceling the 4th
Don't
of
play
July.
with me. See,
I mean-
nobody said we were canceling it.
I think now we're just more educated.
Oh, you can't celebrate
Yeah.
the 4th of July anymore.
We're just more
Girlies.
educated now
I'm
about
not
what it really
celebrating
means.
4th of July, I was eating my food.
You
I've
can't
been
celebrate
doing it
because
all
it's my
these
birthday.
years.
We will be
Okay,
celebrating.
so-
Turn up.
But as far as Juneteenth is concerned, we definitely are going to pick that up on another podcast because I feel like it definitely deserves a real conversation. And not only that, I want to talk about the reparations. What you guys think about
I want
us
to see
getting
them get 'em.
reparations on that?
And I
So
feel like
that's
they
why
give
I wanna
everybody
talk
else
about
their
it right now.
reparations.
They were-
Why when it comes to
it's a
black
bill
people, we
trying to
can't
get
never
passed
get
in
why we can't
Michigan.
never get our reparations.
It's a thing trying to get written right now into Michigan
Oh, I know,
law.
I know.
And
And they're
That's why
trying
I
to
said
block it.
And Alabama.
we're going to talk about
They've
that.
actually blocked it in Alabama.
They
Oh,
did
they're
work.
trying
They're blocking
Yeah,
it
'cause-
in
yeah,
Alabama
Yeah, they're
right
trying
now.
to do it here.
And different states are trying to do it. That's why on the next podcast, we're going to talk about Juneteenth. Because I do really
Yeah, we're
wanna
gonna have to get into that.
Yeah, but I feel like it definitely deserves more than just a few minutes to really have that conversation.
Right.
And even to talk about how
Well, can
so
you
many
right
of
quick?
us
Can
didn't
you
even know
just
about it.
explain to people that don't really know what Juneteenth is? Can you just explain to them what Juneteenth? Because I'm just really starting to hear about Juneteenth within the
We all
last.
started.
Yeah.
getting
Like,
last
I'm really
couple
just
years.
so-
social
Because
media.
a lot of people didn't know about it. Only
Right.
certain places actually celebrated. But of course, through social media and other outlets, people were starting to find out about it and learning about it. And more people are starting to acknowledge it and celebrate it. Basically, the Emancipation Proclamation, when it was signed, which was supposed to free all the slaves in real life, people in Texas, I think the southern part of Texas, were not free until 2 years later,
Wow.
which was June 19th. So that's why we celebrate Juneteenth, because all the slaves were not free. They had no idea. Word had not gotten down to them. And it finally got to them when the Union soldiers got to them and let them know, like, you guys are free. You're no longer slaves, even though technically they were never free, because we're not going to talk about Jim Crow and segregation and everything else. Yeah. But June 19th is now celebrated as the day that Black people.
Quick question. That don't have nothing to do with the Tulsa, Oklahoma. I thought that all was the same stuff. Is that the same thing?
That's Black Wall Street.
Yeah, that's Black Wall Street. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic. Oh boy. So we definitely want to celebrate and acknowledge Juneteenth. Gotta learn our history because they know it, because it's enough of this whitewashed version of history. We need to learn our real history.
I'm supposed to work on Juneteenth, so you mean I don't need to go to work?
Is they paying holiday pay?
No,
they're actually trying to make it a national holiday.
So I shouldn't work on Juneteenth.
So, yeah, it's supposed to be on Biden's desk.
No, you show up and be Black.
Okay,
show Black girl when you show up at work.
Okay, I got you.
So with that, we're gonna wrap this show up, and we will check you guys out next time.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a nice one.
Thank y'all for having me.
Hey.
Make a move, make it better.
Yeah. Forget the rest.
How y'all feeling better?
You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.